Hello, Mom and Dad Meet World. So I want to talk to you about a computer we had just picked up as an add-on. I'm saying this as an add-on because there are times when you see the computer behind us back there. That is the 16-inch M4 Pro MacBook Pro. And that is a nice big computer, tons of battery life, great amount of power, and I don't mind taking it with us locally, even like as far as like train, cafes, pretty much very local. But as far as like maybe on a plane, I wanted to grab something a little bit smaller, and so that's when we ended up going for this guy right here. This is the 13-inch. So from our previous videos, I did show that we were looking at both the 15-inch M3 MacBook Air with 24 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, and the M2 MacBook Air 13, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. And then I saw this pop up, and this popped up very much so open box. This was open box fair, and you can see this box right here. This box is a very well used box. It came with a charger, it came with the MagSafe cable, did not come with a little pamphlet, and it came with a very beat up box right here. Let me get into that experience again very shortly, but we were wanting to get a smaller computer as an add-on. Those computers were in the previous video, but I saw this computer and I said, well, it's not too bad a price. We ended up getting that M2 for about $765, and that M3, that pretty well spec'd out M3 15, that was too close in size to the 16 that is back there. That was over 14, so that was quite a bit, and I ended up seeing this. So fair condition. It's actually not too bad a condition. There are a couple little issues that I do want to talk about here. 13-inch M3 MacBook Air, 16 gigs of RAM, but 512 gigs of storage on this model that we picked up here. It was about $981, and so that is actually not too bad. It's maybe $200 or so, $200 to $300, depending if it's on sale, cheaper than it would be brand new. But a few little things that I did want to address here. So I don't know if it's just me, but this was the only model. So the M2 Air, the M3 Air 15, I did not have any issues as far as like Wi-Fi connectivity with this one. Very first, right off the bat, when it was even setting up, it was hunting for a Wi-Fi network that it said didn't exist, and there were probably about 20 of them all around us, including what we had here on our phones that we wanted to tether off of, just grab the Wi-Fi from our phones and just, Wi-Fi tether from the phone to this. And it was not having that, so it had the same issue just a little bit earlier too today, this morning actually. And those previous MacBooks, so if you go to your settings, you go to about, you can get a full system report on these computers, and that 15-inch, it felt a little bit more used from before. That had about 5 battery cycles on there, so not too bad. 13-inch M2 Air, the base model, 16 gigs, 256 gigs of storage, had 1 battery cycle. This right here says the battery life is 100%. I checked the battery cycles. This has 35 battery cycles, so this has been used for quite a bit. 35 battery cycles. I don't know about you, but that is a lot of battery cycles for this. And then the other thing too is when I noticed when I opened it up right here, that I don't know if you can actually see this, but you can actually see the keyboard wear right on that space bar. And so if it can zoom in here a little bit, or I'll manually zoom by just moving it in, there's some keyboard wear on that space bar, and there could be, there's a little bit of keyboard wear on the command key. that is the other thing. So a couple red flags there with having 35 battery cycles and that keyboard wear. When we picked it up at the time, we were not allowed to open it. We were not allowed to touch it per se. And I was determined, because there have been some fair models that we have gotten from Best Buy that have been absolutely mint. And I'm talking like they look like they were brand new, but they were marked as fair, and we got a great deal for them. Got a great deal on an iPad marked as fair that was top of the line iPad 10th gen, and got it for like 40% off, which I thought was a spectacular deal. But this was marked as fair. Looks physically okay. I do gotta say, the battery cycle, the keyboard wear, and I did have to get the screen very clean because there was a ton of fingerprints and dust on there from the screen, and then I could even see a little bit of imprints from the keyboard on the screen. So I don't know if they were using some sort of rubber screen or rubber keyboard protector, and if you keep that rubber on there, it will imprint on your screen. So that is something that I personally do not use. I know it's sometimes when you get like a case like this, which we actually did, and it actually did come with a keyboard cover. I don't ever use that for that very reason. Plus, I just like the feel of the keyboard itself. It's a great keyboard, very tactile, but this computer so far has not been too bad. I do gotta say, this would be the Goldilocks computer because 512 gigs of storage, but even with that 256, I did not really worry about the storage. One Final Cut Pro project at a time, didn't have any issue with the storage. iCloud, they do such a good job with storage optimization. I'm really surprised, but yeah, I didn't have any issues with that, which is why right now I'm thinking about leaning towards that M2 MacBook Air, 256 gigs of storage, 16 gigs of RAM, and they've got it on sale right now for $749. That's brand new. It's not even open box. Some of their open box prices are actually more than they are for the new ones, but $749 depending on when you are viewing this video. That is a really darn good price. Yes, I know it's M2, it's a step down with this being an M3, and it's also a step down in storage, 512 to 256, but again, the advantage is it will be brand new. It'll have literally 0 battery cycles. I'm going to put all the battery cycles on there, and then the keyboard wear, as I said, it'll be brand new. You won't even notice the keyboard wear because, well, it hasn't been used. So that's also an advantage there too. But I just wanted to give you an update because when I did make that other video, it was only towards the very end of making that video where I took both of those computers back. Even though I said, yeah, we're sticking with the 13. We are sticking with the 13-inch size. I am just trying to find that Goldilocks because I definitely do want to take a smaller computer to put on a tray table to travel, and we do have plans to travel, like plane travel, and just wanted something just a tad little bit smaller. But in the meanwhile, we're going to use this. We're going to see how that Wi-Fi does, and we're still definitely going to use the computer right behind us back there in the 16-inch M4 Pro MacBook Pro because it is a beast and continues to be a very friendly beast of a computer. Love the battery life on that. That 16-inch screen, that mini LED screen is phenomenal, although the screens on these are very good. Also, when you look at them side by side, other than looking at like black levels in a very dim room, you're not really going to tell because the screen quality is just excellent on pretty much all of the MacBook computers. So just want to give you an update. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It all helps out our channel. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Yeah, this is a very used box right here. Whew.